Good morning, 9 o'clock a.m. on May 8th, 2023 on a Monday morning. Monday.
Monday morning.
Oops, stop that. I had that computer muted earlier and then took it off mute, and I've got audio confirmation here, and both of those are muted. So, where am I going to start with today? I'm going to go to channel comments. The oldest comment I have in here is from Windows Daily 209, which is the last one on Friday. It says, hello from Aberdeen, Scotland. So hello, Mike McCrae. Then let's see, I got to push this button to bring my picture on. The Windows Fixer Club. Kate Cordius asks, where did you get the shelves behind you? I'm looking for some just like those. So I got two sets of shelves there. And I suspect that I got those from, could be Orchard Supply Hardware, could be Lowe's, could have been Home Depot. I went and checked my Amazon records to see if I got them from there. And no, I don't have anything in my purchase history for those. But when I went to search for them, do they have those racks for storage? There are those kinds of racks available. So you can go shop around looking for them, but I don't know precisely where I bought them from. Since I don't have them in my Amazon purchase history, I suspect that I got them from either Lowe's or Orchard Supply Hardware. Probably not from Home Depot or Home Base, if they're even still in business. I don't think I got it from there. And I put wheels. I added wheels to this rack, and I also have some chrome racks upstairs. Two kind of like these right here, chrome racks upstairs, but they didn't come with wheels. I had to order the wheels separately. So that is all I can say about that. Let's give a thumbs up and a heart to those two comments, and then Mar Harry. And this is in regards to the Windows, how to upgrade Windows 10 Home to Windows 10 Pro. And he's saying in May of 2023, it is still a problem. Let's zoom this in a bit. But thanks to you, in easiest way, after thousands of videos and guides, I find you here. That's amazing. Greetings from That's amazing. Greetings from Poland. Well, hello. And thank you for that comment. And I'm going to assume that you're exaggerating, that you didn't actually watch thousands of videos. Now this thing, how to upgrade Windows 10 Home to Windows 10 Pro, based upon that comment, I got two of those comments there. Apparently there's people out there searching that recently. If you do a Google search on that, I was wondering, do I show up? Do my videos show up? And you got to scroll pretty far to find it. In fact, I think what I did yesterday to find it was I had to come back up here and click on videos so that I'm only seeing videos, and scroll down and scroll down and scroll down and scroll down and scroll down, and then go to the next page. I did find my video here somewhere. Not yet. I think it was on the third page. There it is, top of the third page. Hey, I'm at the top of the page. It just happens to be the third page. I need to do better with that stuff. So these two people found my video. Now what happens if you search YouTube for that? That's a pretty good search phrase. How to upgrade Windows 10 Home to Windows 10 Pro. So how do I show up on YouTube? And I looked at some of these other videos, and I did not find any of them showing the method that I'm showing. So I don't know if I'm really that unique in showing that technique or not. This one, Bayard Del Orano, says, could you send a picture of the webcam cable connection N91C cable, or post a picture with cable colors? Well, I don't have that all in one computer anymore. That video was from a year ago, so sorry, no, I cannot help you out there. You know what? I will reply to that one. These these aren't specific questions, so I'm not going to be replying to them in, in comments. Then from Saturday's video, Matt says, Doug, I believe, this is when we were talking about that SSD drive and how some drives don't show that particular piece of information on the Crystal Disk Info report. And he says, I believe the reason why NAND write line didn't appear in the Crystal Disk Info on your system is it's referring to the 3D NAND memory type, which I'm guessing the SPSSD uses, but not your NVMe drive. And so that would apply to the other people in the session on Saturday that was saying their SSDs didn't report that either. And I speculated during that video that I thought it was probably had to do with the type of SSD it was. All right, then let's go take a look at what's going on in the chat room. Alan Barr says, hello. Nick Poverman says, I wrote a self-help book to avoid falling down stairs. It's a step-by-step guide. And then there were 3 Dougs. What fun. This is in reference to the trailer that showed at the beginning of this video. That same trailer will be showing tomorrow before the show. If you don't go watch the trailers before the show, you will not see them. There is no other place at this point for you to go see them. Then Jeff says, great intro. Thank you. I've had fun doing that kind of thing. Chris says, hello, Nova. Nova knows of me from my Fortnite channel, and Nova's been on my Fort channel a number of times. So on this channel, I make people moderators just to see their name in blue. That tells us that they've been around before, and it's somebody that I know is not a troublemaker. And he was wondering, why does this channel get more than my Fortnite channel? Speedy C thought the same. I guess that was in reference to the intro. Okay. And Ken informs Nova that I started this tech channel before the Fortnite channel, but I'm inclined to think the Fortnite channel is never going to grow as much as this channel, because this channel is, more informative, educational. I think I have a different way of delivering content as opposed to Fortnite. My Fortnite channel, I'm just one in the massive hordes of people that do Fortnite videos. I think the Fortnite viewer audience is probably a lot larger than tech. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Selden Ball, hello. Rand Israel, hello. John Williams, hello. Kenny Wooden, hello. Chris, you can get shells from Lowe's or Home Depot. Jeff, hello. Let's see. People saying hello to each other. Doug almost quoted Forrest Gump. I'm not sure where I did that. Was that Monday Morning? No, that's a song from like the 60s, isn't it? I think I have a video that downgrades Windows 10 Pro to Home. Why would anyone ever want to do that? Okay. Rick Lakes, Martin Hogg. Yep, I streamed it on January 2nd, 2018. John Williams got shells from Wayfair. All right. Now, I watched a video that was suggested. It showed up in my suggestions. Let's see. Let's go to it from Ken Stout's channel. On videos, he's got a video in here, Haunted Icons. I like that thumbnail and I like the title. And so I've watched it twice trying to understand what in the world Ken was trying to show here. Ken, I found it very confusing to understand what all my icons are together again. Now, based upon some other things that I've heard Ken say, I'm deducing the thing is that his icons are arranged in a certain way at nighttime, and then his computer goes to sleep or he turns the monitors off or something like that. When he turns them back on, they're elsewhere. So let me start the conversation with this, is that the arrangement of desktop icons does not work very gracefully. It doesn't work the way that it seems that it ought to. There are a lot of nuances to how it works. So what Ken was trying to do in that video, he was showing multiple monitors on the single screen. At one point he had 2 monitors on the same screen, but there's no dividing line. It looked like it was 1 monitor to me. So Ken, I just did not understand what you're trying to show there. But the concept of icons moving around to a place other than what you expected them to be. Let me just show one technique that I know of that is a surprising thing. And there's a whole lot of other nuances. I'm not going to try to go through all of them. Now, I'm going to minimize all the programs and everything that's open by holding down the Windows key and press the letter D. So I no longer even see XSplit. I don't know if I'm actually still streaming, except that I can turn over here to Baby Beast and see if it's still going. And now I have a refresh indicator going, and I refresh the web page. You're not telling me any problems in chat over there. So yes, it looks like that's still working, even though I don't see myself or XSplit or anything on Big Beast. Now here, if I go show my keyboard camera, see, I can't even tell that I switched to my keyboard camera. I have to look on Baby Beast to see that. So let's go over here. I'm going to try to show you my 3 monitors. There you see my 3 monitors, and there's a delay for me to be able to see what I'm actually showing. And this is my primary monitor on the right, and it has all my icons there. If I drag a rectangle box around all of those icons and then drag them over to the next monitor, let's say I drag them partway between these 2 monitors and let go of the mouse button there. Some of the icons will be there, some of them will be over here. Then I can take a random selection of icons from here, drag those over to this monitor. So now I've got icons on all 3 monitors. Now if I right click on the desktop and say that I want to, for instance, sort them by item type, what happens? They all go over to the left edge of each of those screens. The same icons that I dragged to each of those screens are now on the left edge of those screens. But now watch, here's something that is very odd. If I click my right mouse button and then choose View, I see that I currently have small icons selected. If I change to medium icons, what do you think is going to happen? I'm going to give you a minute to figure out what do you think is going to happen when I change to medium icons. Common sense would say that's going to make all these icons larger in the spots where they are right now. But here I go, I click on it, and what happened is all the icons move back to my first primary monitor on the right hand side. Now if I come back on any of my screens, right click and choose View Small Icons, what happens? Well, they go back to the way that I had them arranged. So if you want your icons split into different screens in a certain way, well, you've got to arrange them using the view level that you want. Now if I change the large icons, what happens? They all come over here to the far right monitor. Why would that work that way? There is nothing that I can think of that makes sense for that. Now I'm going to bring up monitor number 1 so you see all of these large icons. There's other things that can be done here with sorting. I typically like to sort by item type, because when sorting by item type, that's going to always make this PC, well, famous last words. See, there's another nuance. It didn't work. I was expecting this PC to be in the upper left. If I go do that again, now this PC is in the upper left. The reason behind that appears to be that when you sort things, let's try by name for instance, the first time you sort it, it should be alphabetical order by name, but if you choose that same option again, sort by name, it's going to be reverse alphabetical order. And not only is it in alphabetical order or reverse alphabetical order, but it's also split up by public profile icons and apps and personal profile icons and apps, and there's some other nuances about how that all works. that I'm just not going to go into because there's just way too many things. So the thing that we should do for Ken is to find out what is specifically the problem that you're having. Don't try to just understand when you click on something, why does this happen this way? Because it doesn't make sense. Don't try to make it make sense. Find a way that you want your icons organized, and if that sticks, then you're fine. Just move forward. I'm suspecting that the problem that you're having, or the symptom, not the problem, the symptom that Ken is having is that he has his icons arranged in a certain way, then his computer goes to sleep or monitors power down, or he turns them off, and then when he turns them back on, they're in a different place. And I suspect what's going on is that Ken has 4 different kinds of monitors. I know one of them's a television, and the other monitors he actually showed in that video, there are very different monitors, and I'm suspecting different video types, meaning there may be HDMI, there might be DisplayPort, there might be DVI, there might be VGA, for all I know. Then the other thing is, I think some of them are plugged into a graphics adapter card and some of them are plugged into the motherboard of the computer. All of those differences can produce different results. If you have 2 different people with 2 different computers, and let's say they all have each have 4 monitors. Both of these individuals have 4 monitors, but they're different monitors, different types of connections. Which monitor is your primary monitor? All those things could cause different nuances as to how things happen for you. So don't beat yourself to death trying to figure out, why does this do that? Just, is something broken? Is something not working the way you need it to work? That's the main thing that you want to figure out, because it is not a well-designed system. Also, the technique that I've shown sometimes about moving an application to the right-hand side of the screen and then picking another application to be on the... Doug, why don't you show? You said that what your channel is going to be about is showing things, not just describing. So if I take the title bar of this window, drag it over the right-hand side, it pops into half of the screen. Now I just dragged that with the mouse, but if you, let's say we got this window active, if I hold down the Windows key on the keyboard, press the right arrow key, that'll pop to the right half of the screen. I'm still holding the Windows key. If I let go of the Windows key now, then I should get a list of applications to choose from to fill the left half of the screen, but it's not happening. I let go of the Windows key and nothing happened. Now let me try that on Baby Beast, which has Windows 11 now, by the way, so I don't know if this is going to be different, but right now I have this browser taking up the full screen. So hold down Windows key, right arrow key. All right, that went to the right like it's supposed to. Now let go of the Windows key, and this is what's supposed to happen. I get a list of programs that I can click on any one of those to make it fill the left half of the screen. Now, when I tried to demonstrate that on Big Beast, did it not work correctly because Big Beast has 3 monitors? I don't know. I haven't tried to track that down. That's not something I need or care about, so I haven't tried to figure that out. Find what's broken for you, and let's find a solution for that. So I don't know what's broken for Ken, because that video I did yesterday was just totally confusing, and I don't know what he's doing from my point of view. So take another shot at that, Ken, if you do want help for that. And you said that you're going to send me an email. I did not get any email from you. Now, Greg M. reading eBay's international shipping terms of service. Won't be buying anything from listings using EIS, meaning eBay's international service. Since services for personal use items only, I buy parts to fix things for clients. Dennis, I think I did it. This was talking about the downgrading from Windows 10 Pro to Windows 10 Home. He says, I think I did it because I installed Windows Pro on a machine licensed for home. Plus just to show how it could be done. Now, of course, you could just do a fresh install of Windows Home. If you installed Windows Pro on a machine that already had a digital license for home, well, why not just do a full wipe and reload. Why would you want to downgrade that to home if it was a fresh install with Pro? So again, I don't see the use case where somebody would have a licensed version of Windows 10 Pro and want to downgrade it to Windows 10 Home. Greg M, I use desktop. Let's see, I better look over here and see if you're saying I'm having any problem with the stream. No. I use desktop OK app to automatically record locations of desktop icons. That way you can easily restore them if they move. Ran Israel, my preference is to enable align to grid and disable auto arrange. I do like the align to grid. Let's minimize a couple things here and right click and choose see what, yeah, this align to grid. If you have that off, did I successfully turn that off? Yeah, I successfully turned that off. Then you can get this kind of thing where icons overlap themselves. Or actually what I did there is I accidentally moved an icon into that folder, I think. Yeah, I don't want Steam VR in there. So yeah, I also do that. I like to have align icons to grid. Now if you want to move some icons to different parts of your screen so that you can find them better, then that's a maybe useful thing for you. But there may be occasion, it could happen with a Windows update, it could happen with a display driver update where they pop back to the left side, because this whole thing about icon management on desktops is not a very well functioning system, in my opinion. I haven't seen documentation on that, but just the things that I just demonstrated already are kind of craziness. All right, here's another crazy one. I'll minimize everything again. Come back to my keyboard camera that shows all the icons, and let's do this. I'm gonna change these down to medium-size icons and get them all over on the left side. And then if I drag, let's see, let me make sure that you're seeing that right. Yeah, you are looking at Baby Beast. I'm going to drag a selection window over all of these. What happens if I take them over here and move my mouse up to the top of the screen? Well, that's a very different arrangement. Now if I drag them down to the bottom of the screen, try that again. Famous last words. This is not working the way that I recently demonstrated it. Move these to the left edge of the screen. Now that's crossing boundaries. Let's see, if I go back to the top of the screen, it changes them again. See, it doesn't even put them in the same type of format. If I go up to the top of the screen, it arranges them differently. Now let me try going down the bottom of the screen here. There, that does a different arrangement. If I go over to the right hand side, it gets them all right aligned. I could take some of these icons, for instance, drag them over to the middle monitor, and let's suppose I want them to be on the right edge of the screen. It's a little tricky to get that to happen, but I did make it on a couple of occasions. This is just, let's back to the statement that this is just a weird functioning system. Don't try to make it work the way you expect it to. That's not going to happen. It's not going to be consistent or stable in my experience. Now, coming back to chat. I haven't seen any, I checked and didn't see any shows. So Ken Stout, do you have a show coming up that you maybe didn't have scheduled till recently? Seldom ball, there are third-party utilities which memorize and restore icons. Okay, why would there be third-party utilities to do that? Because Windows doesn't do it very well. Duh. And like I've told you before, I don't like installing third-party utilities for my clients' computers. I try to keep my clients' computers as generic as I can, and I also keep my own computers as generic and native Windows as I can, so that I am eating my own dog food kind of thing. The way I have my client's computer set up, that's the way mine operate, as much as I can. Darren Gilholm says, hi. So the monitor with Windows 10 shortcuts is for Fortnite, or are you using another monitor? The monitor with Windows 10 shortcuts is for Fortnite. No, I don't try to arrange my icons in any particular method. I typically have them all on my primary monitor, and I will sort them by type, but not this type. I don't want Ken Stout in the upper left, so I'll do it. Item type again. This is the way that I kind of know where things are at. If you start moving icons around to where you want them to be, you're more likely to run into issues where they've moved. So if you can learn to use the icons in one of Windows' native formats, then you're not going to run into those kind of problems where Windows messes them up. Greg M., I have my icons arranged in certain order, not covered by the right-click menu, and you may get fouled up once in a while. However, if you're on a single monitor, you very well may never be having trouble at all. Multiple monitors, multiple different kinds of monitors, multiple different types of cable connections. Oh, that's just two different. I think Ken has a motherboard video and video card video. That's just an invitation for troubles. Lawn Dog says that is probably a bug in the program or icon size on multiple monitors, but you may have stumbled into a method for collecting all the icons when they get scattered. You could do the change request and all the icons will be put back onto the main monitor. At least all the icons that sometimes disappear will be there. Now actually when you the change request, if you change to sort by a different order and you have icons on different monitors, they'll stay on the separate monitors. But if you change to a different icon size, that'll move them all back to the primary monitor until you change back to the original icon size, and that'll move them back. So Noah says, wait, huh? When did I become a mod? Lawn Dog, I have that. Did you not hear me say that? I made you a mod because I know you, Nova, from the Fortnite, and I turn people blue here that I recognize and have seen around and know that you're not a troublemaker. I've had that happen where icons are on another monitor that I may not have turned on. Oh, that's another way that I have seen icons jump around, is if you restart your computer and you only have one monitor turned on, then the icons that are on the other monitors may or may not move to your primary monitor. If you've got icons spread across your various monitors and you turn the power off on those monitors, or turn the power off, the icons will still stay there even though you can't see them. Turn the monitors, come back on, and they're there. In my experience, your mileage may vary because this is not a consistent arena. I have also disconnected the video cable for that monitor, and whatever I had open there shows up on my other two monitors that are currently still connected. So that might also move your icons. If you start the computer up and have one of your monitors off, let's say it's your television set that uses, I don't know, VGA. I don't know what the combination is that causes this to happen, but unusual things that Microsoft isn't expecting are not stable. What Microsoft is expecting is that you're using one monitor, not 11, one monitor, on a normal style of connection, and it's a modern monitor that reasonably matches the computer. You're probably going to have a more stable experience. But I can't guarantee that. Wait, hold on, I'm going amok. Wait, hold on, I'm going amok trial RN. I'll be back in a few if I can. Not sure what that meant. Ken, not trying to understand at all. I do put them where I want them. A day or so later, poof, they are moved on their own. Using a television as a monitor has issues, especially with HDMI connections, all plugged into a graphics card. Well, I'm not saying that under these circumstances you will have problem. I'm saying it is not a stable environment. If you put your icons in custom places other than what Windows has designed, then you may get odd experiences. Side note, this recently started happening. For years, no issues at all. Not at all surprising. Recently started happening. Did you do an update on your video editing software? Is there updates on your display drivers? Did Windows change the way they do things? Is the weather different? There are so many different variables that could cause a change of operation. You might have made a very subtle change in how you do things, so subtle that you didn't think that possibly could be related, or you don't even remember doing it. Don't stress out over why is this working this way now. Figure out a way to make it work for yourself and move on. It's on the monitor. Ken, is it possible to update the internal software? Let's see, I'm going to look and see if there's any other. Does Ken have any shows? No, Ken says no show. Part 2 premiere of The Haunted House. On the TV monitor, Ken, if it is possible to update the internal software for the TV, you might try that. Interesting idea. I cannot think of the wording of what that is called, but HDMI has handshaking problems when it communicates with TVs and other peripherals like stereos, and of course computers has been buggy. I wouldn't be at all surprised if you were to track down the symptom to where you find that if you turn one of those monitors on before the others, then you get different results than if you turn them on in a different order. Now, I don't even know if the computer is, if you're putting it to sleep or standby or hibernate or turning the computer off. I don't know what you're doing in that regards. If you're doing the Windows key L for lock screen, that might produce different results. For a long time, for the most part, it does work, but there are circumstances where you have intermittent issues. Ken to Lawn Dog, no idea if I can update the TV software or not. Firmware, I guess. I know it was working before and suddenly something changed. BDC is monitor 1 set as default Windows 10 when you have more than one monitor. Yeah, let's go look at that. So right click on the desktop display settings. Ken has 4 monitors showing up on this screen. They don't show in numerical order. I think it was number 4 on the right and then 1, 2, 3, whatever. It doesn't matter what the order was. But when you click, you can click on any of these monitors and make that monitor the main display. What does that mean? Well, that's going to be the display that has all these little icons down in the bottom right corner. When Ken's icons move from one monitor to the other, did it move to the monitor that is currently set as the main display? And if you change that to be a different monitor, does that change the symptom? It might not change it in a way that you could predict. Just lots of different things that can happen with this stuff. Ken's icons are like his golfing game. Some hook while others slice. Maybe this can help. Addictive tips. Let's take a look at what Rand is showing us there. That went to a different monitor. How to save desktop icon layout on Windows 10. What is this? Oh, it's a utility program. So this is not within native Windows. That's another third-party utility. Ken, somewhere in settings, there's going to be a read out for software version for the television. That is where I would go. Maybe there's a button to push for update. Chris says, I saw a car today getting gas. The tag said Arkansas. I asked them if they knew Alex Cheek. They said, yes, he is the mayor of Sheridan. Lawn Dog to Ken, for many years, the communication between HDMI and stereo equipment does not always work like it should. We had more problems in the past, but there's still issues occurring. John to Doug. So, Doug, are you just using webcams for live stream? Yes. All of my, here's on back on my keyboard camera. So here's a webcam that goes to XSplit. This webcam is for Zoom. This webcam I'm not really using for anything particular currently. And then I have also the webcam this webcam I call the keyboard camera, and I have another one in another room that I call a tripod camera. Yeah, I find the webcams completely sufficient for live streaming. I'm not attracted at all to using digital SLR cameras or video camcorders. I don't think they're needed, at least the way I do this show. Ken Stout, no show. However, I will be doing part 2 premiere of the Haunted Icons later today. Nova's back. Defenda's not going to get bond. So Nova, I guess, is in school and had a mock trial to attend. Lawyers messing him up. Gary to Nova. PA did great. PD not so much. Is Gary somehow involved in the mock trial that Nova is watching? Public defender, PA. I can't think of what. Plaintiff's attorney? Public defender or plaintiff's? I don't know. Greg M. So you will place icons on your desktop where we allow you and you like it, signed your friends at Microsoft. So I guess he's saying, quoting Microsoft, you will place icons on your desktop where we allow you and you will like it. Signed your friends at Microsoft. Gary asking Nova, is that high school or law school? Nova says it's high school. Man, this is the only time where my typing speed has been used. I could barely keep up even though I type like 140 words, 140-ish words per minute. That's fast. Grandpa Doug, can you update me on the current problem? I feel like I might know a solution. I'm not going to repeat everything we've been talking about, no. I don't understand what the problem is, because Ken wasn't very clear about the problem on his haunted icons. This is Ken's video. If you can figure out what the problem is here, he spends a lot of time with trying to do multiple monitors on his display, and it's really confusing. Somewhere here he shows his 4 monitors side by side, and you can see they're all different monitors. Let's see, somewhere along here it showed all 4 screens at once. I don't know. You have to go watch that, Nova. Lawn Dog, that's a great idea to maybe turn on each monitor first, make sure they're active before turning on the computer, and see if anything changes. You got to do this for a long period of time. Ken DeNova, that is the issue I have. I don't know what Ken is referring to. Ken's problem is that he types 140 words per minute. I don't understand that comment. Lawn Dog, to see if it solves the problem with this is part of the issues with the handshaking with HDMI peripherals. This question comes up a lot in the Leo Laporte radio program. Prosecuting attorney is the PA. Prosecuting attorney. Yeah, I said plaintiff's attorney. Public defender. Okay, civil case would have a plaintiff's attorney. A criminal case would have a prosecuting attorney and a public defender. So that must be in what's going on. Not plaintiff, because that would be a civil case. Lawn Dog, Live Windows Training. Since we're talking about monitors, what are your thoughts on curved monitors? I see you got 3 monitors close together. What if they were curved? I have used curved computers. I had a couple clients that had curved monitors. I did not like them. I didn't like let's see, what was I don't remember how many inches was, but it was massive. And you could, put like 3 apps, but you always had to arrange them. I found it a lot easier to arrange applications by having separate monitors. When I open the applications, they open on the monitor that they were last used on, but that doesn't seem to work very well on a huge curved monitor. I did not like them. What webcam do you use for your main stream? I have, let's see, I was looking for a way to bring that list up for you. Let's go, if I go over here to camera capture card, let's see, if I do that, you're going to get all that crazy window in window. How about device manager? They're all Logitech webcams and imaging devices. A C922 Pro stream webcam is this one, and the C920 webcams are very, very similar looking, and the Logitech Stream Cam is this one. So as far as the mainstream, that would be the Logitech Stream Cam is the primary one, but it doesn't, it has some features that the others don't have, but it's not a big deal difference. Kendall Londog, the Sanyo TV can be updated via USB, so I'll look into that later. Londog, I can see the configuration you use your monitors, that having 3 flat monitors the way you would work out well. Yes, it does. Ken Stout Live, good bit of detective work to find out how to do the update. Great job. Prosecuting attorney from Gary. Nova to Ken, I watched to some extent, but I have a question. Do you turn off your monitor and then the icons move around? And Ken says yes. I don't think that's quite the way that I'm aware that Ken described it. The way I understood him to describe it is he turned off all his monitors and the next morning he turns them back on and the icons are moved around. That's a different statement than turning off one of his monitors and then the icons move around. So this statement could be interpreted different ways. It's difficult to word that specifically enough, and that's the problem that I'm having. I don't understand the symptom that Ken's struggling with. Use a blank flash drive, of course, and actually a flash drive that isn't fancy. Even a 2.0 would be preferable for the update. He's talking about the update to the television set. So Nova is telling Ken that that's normal based upon Nova's perception of what he meant when he said this. I'm not convinced that Ken's interpretation of what Nova meant is the same thing, because I can read that multiple different ways. They have moved twice now, but not just by turning a monitor off. My understanding is you turn all your monitors off, then the next morning you turn them back on, and they have moved. What order did you turn them on? Was the computer in standby or sleep mode? Did anything power down? Does your device manager allow the computer to power down your graphics card or your graphics ports or your monitors? Need a lot more specifics. If you turn off your monitor, your icons will move because the app you put your monitor on is off. So now it switches places to a monitor while it's available. So let's go test that. Go test that and see if that is actually happens. So the way I'm going to test that is I'm going to bring you to my keyboard camera, and I'll put some icons over here on the right-hand monitor. So by that last statement, I think you're saying if I turn off this monitor, then these icons will move back over to here or maybe to here. So here I'm going to reach back here, turn off that monitor, no icons have shown up here. If I minimize XSplit, no icons here. So I turned off that monitor, no icons moved at all. If I turn this monitor back on, I believe we're going to find the icons are still over here. Yes, they are. They did not move. Anybody's experience that you're having on your computer may not be the same for someone else. So because you experience something in a certain way on your computer, do not tell other people, I suggest you do not tell other people this is the way it works. Everybody's mileage might vary. They're different computers. So let's see what he said here. Read that again. If you turn off your monitor, your icons will move. No, they will not. In my case, they're not moving in my case, because that app you put on your monitor, that you put your monitor in, is off now, so it switches places to another monitor where it's available. Now, if it's an app, let's do this way. Let's do this way. Let's take this chat room, put it over on this monitor, maximize it. If I turn off this monitor, will that chat room move back to one of these monitors? Let's find out. While waiting, that's not happening. Let's see. Now, also notice my mouse. I'm moving my mouse from one screen to another. If I come back here to the left edge, it actually goes off onto this screen, but I can't see it. So the computer thinks this monitor is still present, even though I've turned it off. I don't think that's true with all monitors. Okay, let's do another thing. I'll disconnect the cable on the back of this monitor. Okay, this monitor's on. It's got chat over here, and it's got some icons. Now, what happens if I unplug the cable on the back of that monitor? And this is a HDMI cable. That room did move to a different monitor, but that wasn't due to turning off the monitor. That was due to disconnecting the cable. And when you guys try this on your own computers, you may get different results. So again, I go back to, do not assume that your experience is going to be the same for everybody else. Okay, I wonder if I crashed my live stream with that. XSplit says I'm still going, and Baby Beast tells me we're still going. Where was I? Yeah, oh boy, we're way over time. Grandpa Dog, remember what's wrong with my PC, right? Don't quite remember. I remember you asking something in my Fortnite yesterday or the day before. Command prompt, log the monitor off. I'll read through these later. I'm way over time, so I'm going to go ahead and sign out now. The bottom line takeaway from this, I think, is a good point to make. When you try something with settings and such, and you get a certain experience, it's a mistake to assume that's going to happen that same way on all computers. That's not been my experience, and I've probably dealt with more computers than most of you have. All right, that's enough. That email address, the reasons why you might send me an email is if you have some question or subject that I could use on a live stream. I typically do not reply to emails. Say that again. I do not reply to emails that come through the channel. If I started doing that, it'd take way too much time in my day. So I don't do it at all as a rule. Sometimes I'll make an exception if I want to reply to that for some reason. What I want you to do is send emails with questions that I can respond to during live streams. Okay? It's just a part of managing time management for me. And some people might say, well, I'm just one person. If I start doing that, there's no way to stop it. So I'm very strict on that. If you don't like that, then go watch another channel. All right. Have a great day, everybody. Catch you later. Goodbye.